Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hey everybody, and welcome back into Bayou Time. This is time to talk a little sports, and great opportunity here to meet a brand new coach in our area. He comes to us from Monroe, four-year player at Wiley College out of Huntsville, Texas. Let's bring in a coach, LaDarian Williams. Thank you so much for being with us, Coach. And it is your first head coaching job with the Terrebonne Tigers, a real tradition-rich program there. How's your time been at Houma so far?
Man, I'm actually loving Houma. The people have definitely been very, very welcoming, making me feel at home. So I'm really enjoying it, and this is definitely a blessing. I'm actually loving it here.
And you know, we were talking a little bit before. You've got some players, and we've got some second and third generation players there on that team. But as I said, quite a tradition. This is your first head coaching job. How's the transition been with trying to get to know those players, and more importantly, a lot of times those parents of those players?
The transition has been fairly easy because the kids are more open to actually learning from a new coach. They're actually buying into what I'm actually trying to teach them. So the transition has been really, really easy. I'm actually with the parents. I have a better relationship with the parents than I do with the players, which is weird because usually you have a better relationship with the kids and the players than you have with the parents. So it's actually a blessing. It's actually a great opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. You played at Richwood up in Monroe. You played at Wiley College, like I said, in Marshall, Texas, 4 years there. First time as a head coach. What about philosophy? I remember playing those guys back in my high school days. Of course, that's back in the 70s. But it was like playing Georgetown when they had Patrick Ewing. They pressed you all over the court. What can we expect from this team when they're on the court?
You can expect the same type of philosophy, upbeat, high tempo, fast pace. We're pressing the whole entire game. We're running and gunning and just really, we want to play fast. We want to control the pace of the game. So you can't expect us to be a super aggressive, really physical team. One is going to be different because now we have a floor general that's 6'4", and we have a post player that's 6'7". So you can expect us to be very, very high tempo team.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of those players and some of the guys you inherited. Do you have to break any old habits, or are these guys ready to go?
Yeah, I definitely had to come in and break a lot of habits. Because what I'm used to, I'm big on I'm a big discipline guy. So the kids have to just adjust to how I want them to play and how hard I actually want them to play. So yeah, I had to break a lot of habits. I'm still breaking habits now. Still haven't been fixed yet, but they're slowly starting to buy into actually how I want to play and respecting me as a coach. So I really these kids like the Colin Billiards, he's 6'3", 6'4", sophomore. Remington, that's a 6'7", sophomore. You have Roosevelt Thomas, third, which is his grandpa was actually on the school board. These are the kids that I'm actually having on my team that actually we're going to make a run for a state championship. We're just going to say one day. We're just going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah. I tell you, there's a lot of good teams in that district, and we're looking forward to seeing that as well. Now, you talk about community and doing things in the community. That you want that to be a big part of your program.
Yeah. We want the community to know that we're for the community. We'll be doing community service things, we'll be doing highway cleanups and stuff like that. A lot of like giving away like food, backpack, school supplies. We'll be doing stuff like that in the community, like hosting a lot of free events like coaching clinics and stuff like that. We're also going to start a young male mentoring program for kids in the Houma area for them to come in on a Wednesday for an hour and a half. We'll sit down and help them with their homework. We'll sit down and talk to them about sports, just talk to them about life. We're going to be more involved in the community than anything.
That's a great way to get started and a great way for these kids. You know, we've seen quite a few of these guys going to the next level in football recently, and I'm sure you'd love to continue that tradition in basketball.
Yeah, that's definitely the focus with me having 3 seniors this year. Definitely have some bright, young, talented seniors. just going to get them some exposure that they never had. But, yeah, we want to keep the tradition going. We know that Terrebonne is a powerhouse in football. Also, Terrebonne, we want to be known for Terrebonne being a powerhouse in basketball as well. So just like the football team is sending people out to college, we want to start that tradition of sending them out to college as well.
Yeah, certainly you can change a lot of lives if kids get their grades right, if they get part of the community, you get the family. You can change a whole culture of athletes, and we've seen it in a lot of different schools. Boy, I'd love to see that a lot more down here. And like I said, we have seen it in football, and it would be great to see those guys in basketball as well. It looks like you're off to a great start. Who's your main rivals in district? Probably Bourgeois and Thibodaux as usual?
From my understanding, it's supposed to be Thibodaux and HL Bourgeois. But I think the biggest rivals for me is going to be East St. John. It's just something about East St. John that one of the coaches I met, and I think that's going to be a big rival for me. Thibodaux is going to be it's going to be a packed house. I'm already know that the coach down there is supposed to be amazing coach, but it's just something about East St. John that just didn't sit right with me when I met with the coach.
Good. Start those rivalries early, Coach. Everybody loves to see those rivalries. And look, that's what sports is all about. So you got the guys practicing and playing. We got about 30 seconds left, but you got the guys playing during the summer?
Oh, yeah. We actually we've been doing two-a-days the whole summer. We played in the summer league. So we've been going every day. These kids are hungry. They're in the gym, and they're actually wanting to get better.
We've been talking a little bit about trying to build a new community effort around the team and get the team to buy in. You talked a little bit about having those guys picking up trash alongside the road. Are those important team-building activities that'll bring a team together?
Yeah, that's something that I know that we did in high school that actually brought on team camaraderie. Just spending some time with them so the community actually see what they're about, seeing that they're more than just basketball players. They're actually for the community. They want to actually be successful out in the community as well, and as long as a classroom and as well as the basketball court as well.
Yeah, discipline, I'm sure, is a big part. If you're going to play a run and gun style, you can't have guys that are on their own page. It seems frenetic when you're watching it, but a lot of times, particularly playing defense, and you got to have somebody that knows where everybody's on the court. Is that all part of it, is having these guys together where they learn each other a little bit more and can play together as a team like that?
Yeah, the more they actually around each other, the more they actually trust each other, the more they actually know what the teammate can do and what he can do. Because the more time you spend with each other, it's just like you're creating a family. It's like a brotherhood. And the more you want to be around each other, the more that you actually want to fight for each other, the more you want to play hard for each other. So that's the biggest thing that we actually doing here at Terrebonne, is keeping these kids together as much as possible, and they're going to actually build a foundation which actually will turn into a family.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we talked a little bit about some of the players that have come through the area over the last couple of years, the high-level Division I athletes that you go play, and particularly now when they got the name and likeness, you can start making money earlier. But it can change your career as far as getting a great education, building a name, brand. We see it in football. I'm sure you'd like to bring that over to basketball. How do you prepare guys like that start doing things? Hey, make sure you're in class. Make sure you're doing your homework so you can qualify for these schools. But also make sure you're ready physically and mentally for the next level.
Well, the first thing, though, that we've been doing as a coaching staff is pushing the issue about education. Because if you don't have the education, no one wants to actually take you as a basketball player. Yeah, you can be the number one basketball player in the nation, but when it comes to academics come first. So we're gonna prepare them mentally for the academic, so they can actually go into those bigger schools and get those scholarships and actually uphold themselves as a student athlete first. So we push the issue, academics come first before basketball.
I can't tell you how many times I've talked to just a Nichols coach, and they would say, look, the first thing we do when we go see a player is go to the guidance counselor and make sure the kids are eligible. So that is so important around it, because we always get on them. Make sure you get these guys from locally to play at Nichols and Southeastern and then obviously LSU and Tulane and those other schools. But it's always like, first, they got to be eligible to be able to play. So it's got to be a big part. Having the parents, as you've said, the parents buying in has got to be a big part of what you guys are doing.
Well, once we first had our first team meeting with the parents, and we told them what we actually stand for as far as academics first, they were more on board about the academics than they were with basketball. So when we tied the academics into basketball, they were sold. So they understand the philosophy of how we actually want to play, how we're going to be hard on them, but how we're going to be even harder on them in the classroom. And the parents just gave us the green light, because they just wanted to know somebody actually cared about their kids' education more than they did about basketball. And that's what we do here now at Terrebonne. We care about your kids' academics more than we actually care about basketball, because we know that at the end of the day, when you stop dribbling that basketball, your education will never leave you.
Well, for sure, Coach. And look, I also, talking to coaches over the years, a lot of them would say, man, if I just go in the halls of this school, I could find kids that are going to come out and beat the kids that are out on the team. So you got to get that community, that school spirit too, where the kids want to play instead of hanging out somewhere else after school. How do you get school spirit in kids that may not have just been part of school activities like that?
Just like you said, walking the hallways, letting kids know that they're always welcome to come out and try for the team. I'm an energy guy, so I believe in you giving out great energy to a child. The great energy actually be given back to you. So when a child feels comfortable with you, they're more receptive to actually coming out and trying for you. Maybe even coming out and just working and just doing a workout for you. So when you walk in those hallways, letting those kids see your faces, letting them know that they can actually come. They can actually come and talk to you too. That's a big thing too. So if a kid doesn't trust you, a kid's not gonna want to play for you. So I make sure kids know that they can trust me, and that I'm gonna put them in a situation where they can actually be successful.
Right, for sure. Hey, Coach, we got 1 minute to go here. Let's talk a little bit about your philosophy again. And so it'll be high energy, probably a lot of players. You want to play a lot of players like that, and that'll all kind of build it too, where everybody's on the bench up and down, I guess, huh?
So we're gonna dress out 12 players, and the 12 players they're gonna be the best. Hands down, they're gonna be the best, the most conditioned kids actually in Homer, because that's our philosophy. If we're running and gunning, they have to be in shape, because we're gonna press you all day. So we're gonna be subbing. Next kid in, next kid out, and we just gonna go blow for blow. It comes down to who's gonna be the better shape team. If you're not in shape as well as we are, we're gonna run you out the gym.
Yeah, for sure. And Coach, we sure appreciate it. We're looking forward to this team and can't wait. So that's Coach Ladarian Williams, head coach at Terrebonne High basketball. Thanks for joining us here on Bayou Time, Coach.
Thank you.